You have practiced for this. Months of Saturday mornings, boxes of shells, the same stations at the same club until your hands know the pull call before the referee says it. And now you have signed up for your first registered shoot. A real competition, with real squad mates, and a scorecard that someone else is writing your name on. Here is what nobody tells you. Within the first 3 stations, something will happen that has never happened in practice. Your hands will feel foreign. The gun will sit differently. Targets you have broken 100 times will sail past untouched. And the worst part, you will not be able to explain why. It is not your technique. It is not your equipment. It is a specific kind of pressure that only shows up when the score counts. And it hits shooters over 50 differently than it hits younger competitors. Not because you are weaker, because you are smarter. And that intelligence, paradoxically, works against you in competition. Today, we are going to name exactly what happens, why it hits over 50 shooters harder, and the 5 things you can do before your first competition to make sure the scorecard reflects the shooter you actually are. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. The thing nobody tells you. Your brain upgrades the stakes. Here is the core problem. In practice, a miss costs nothing. 1 bird. Gone. Reload. Move on. Your brain treats it as data, helpful feedback. Adjust and try again. But in competition, your brain reclassifies every single target. A miss is no longer data. It is a deduction. It comes off your score. And that reclassification changes everything. When your brain perceives loss, even small loss, even 1 target, it activates a completely different system. The calm, analytical part of your mind that reads targets and calculates lead in practice gets overridden by a faster, more reactive system designed to prevent loss. Psychologists call it loss aversion. And here is the critical point for over 50 shooters. Loss aversion intensifies with experience. The more you know about the sport, the more targets you have broken in practice, the more your brain understands what a good round should look like. And the more painful every miss becomes. A 25-year-old first-time competitor can shrug off a miss because they do not have a reference point for what a good round feels like. You do. You have shot 23s and 24s in practice. You know what smooth feels like. So when smooth disappears, your brain panics. Not because you are nervous, because you know exactly what you are losing. 5 things that change in competition, and what to do about each. 1. Your pre-shot routine disappears. In practice, you have a rhythm. Mount, call, pull, break. In competition, something happens between the mount and the call. A hesitation, a thought. What if I miss this one? That thought, even for half a second, disrupts the entire sequence. The fix is not to eliminate the thought. You cannot. The fix is to make your pre-shot routine longer and more physical. Add a specific physical movement. Press your cheek to the comb. Settle your weight on your front foot. Take 1 breath. Make the routine so physical that the body leads and the mind follows. 2. You shoot faster. This is almost universal. Competition shooters move quicker between stations, mount quicker, call quicker. It feels like confidence. It is actually anxiety. Speed in sporting clays is almost always the enemy. Your job in competition is to be the slowest shooter on the squad. Not sloppy, not lazy, deliberate. Walk to the station slowly. Set your feet slowly. Call on your timeline. Nobody is timing you, but your brain will try to speed you up. Resist it. 3. You start watching other shooters' scores. This is a trap unique to competition. In practice, there is no scoreboard. In competition, there is. And your brain will keep checking it. After every station, you will glance at the card. Am I ahead? Am I behind? What did the shooter next to me just do? Every glance at that scorecard is a moment you're not thinking about the next target. The fix. Decide before the competition starts that you will not look at the scorecard until the round is over. If someone tells you their score, nod and forget it. Your only job is the target in front of you, not the one behind you, not the one 2 stations ahead. 4. Your mount tightens. This is the physical manifestation of pressure. Under competition stress, your grip tightens, your shoulders rise, and your mount becomes higher and stiffer than it is in practice. The gun feels different. It points differently. And you start missing targets you never miss. The fix? Do not try to relax. That does not work. Instead, deliberately reset your body at every station. Drop your shoulders. Shake out your hands. Set the gun in your hands lightly before you mount. Rebuild the physical platform from the ground up each time. 5. You change your plan on the fly. In practice, you have a plan for every presentation. Hold point, break point, lead. In competition, when a target breaks differently than you expected, or when you miss, the temptation is to abandon the plan and try something new. Bigger lead, different hold point, a completely different strategy. This is how 1 miss becomes 3. The fix. Commit to your plan before you step into the stand. And if you miss, trust the plan and execute it again. 1 miss is data. 2 misses might be a pattern. Changing your entire approach after 1 miss is panic. Do not panic. The pre-competition protocol. Most of this video has been about what happens during the shoot, but the battle is half won before you ever step to the first station. The night before, do 2 things. Lay out everything you will need. Shells, ear protection, eye protection, vest, towel, water. Not the morning of, the night before. When you're calm, when your hands are not shaking from adrenaline. You want the morning to be routine. No searching, no decisions, just execution. Second, and this matters more for over 50 shooters than anyone else, get real sleep. Not 4 hours of lying awake rehearsing station by station. Sleep. Your visual acuity, your reaction time, your emotional regulation, all of it degrades without rest. More than any technique or strategy, sleep is the single most underrated performance tool in competitive shooting. The morning of, eat something real. Not coffee and nerves. Protein. Complex carbs. Your brain needs fuel to manage pressure, and it cannot do that on an empty stomach. Arrive early. Not rushed. Walk the course if you can. See the terrain. Feel the wind. Let your eyes adjust to the light. You're not warming up your shooting. You're warming up your senses. The mindset shift that changes everything. Everything we have covered. The 5 changes, the protocol, the physical resets. They all serve one purpose: to keep you shooting like yourself when the scorecard makes you want to be someone else. Here is the mindset shift that separates shooters who compete well from shooters who just compete. Practice is where you learn to break targets. Competition is where you prove you can break them when breaking them is harder. That is it. Competition is not a different sport. It is the same sport with one added variable: pressure. And pressure does not create new problems. It amplifies existing ones. If your mount is slightly inconsistent in practice, pressure will make it very inconsistent in competition. If your pre-shot routine is loose in practice, pressure will make it disappear in competition. So the real preparation for your first competition is not learning new techniques. It is tightening the ones you already have. Making your routine airtight. Making your mount automatic. Making your plan unshakable. Do that, and your first competition score will look a lot like your practice score. Do not do that, and the gap between the two will surprise you. So here is your challenge. Before your next practice session, Run through the 5 competition changes mentally. Pick the one that scares you most, probably the pre-shot routine or the score watching, and practice defending against it, even in practice, especially in practice. Let me know in the comments which of the 5 changes you think will hit you hardest. And if this video helped you, subscribe to the channel and like this video. Until next time, keep your head in the game and your eye on the target.